Welcome, friends, family, and faithful viewers of Opinions Mostly podcast. Thanks for joining us here on a beautiful November Thursday before Thanksgiving. Sitting directly now to my left, also in front of me, however you want to put that, is the one, the only, Mr. Joe Ramrod Spollery. How's it going, Joe? How are you today?
We're dialed in, baby, on this beautiful, cold Thursday afternoon. We're getting ready for another exciting week of NFL football.
Week 11,
probably going to be hard to top last week, but damn it, they're gonna find a way, right?
There's some
good football gods will find a way.
There's some good games this weekend. But before we get into our NFL, Joe, let's talk a little bit of NBA here real quick. The Golden State Warriors, man. It's been the first time since 1989, which, for those of you that don't know, we weren't even born yet. That's crazy. 1989 that the Warriors have fallen to an 0-8 on the road. What you got to say about this, Joe? Because Curry's been looking fantastic.
Curry dropped a 50 bomb last night against Phoenix, and they still somehow came up and lost. I think part of it is a couple of things. Number one, obviously right now, factually mostly, their defensive rating is shit. They're not playing defense. You can attribute this to maybe
their bench isn't great either, but
bench isn't contributing either. You can contribute this to championship hangover a little bit, but also the Warriors. I mean, they've been in dynasty mode since 2014. Their motivation to play at a high level early in the season is not there. They might just kind of coast it out and ride it out, and then once the playoffs start to ramp up and we're in the last month of the season, they know as long as they get in, they can go the distance. I think that's kind of what's going on, contributing to it.
So it's a slow play?
Yeah. It's too early to say right now. It is a little troublesome to see they haven't won a game on the road yet. But I think at some point they're going to find their footing and they're going to redial it in here.
Redial. I saw Mr. Steve Curry talking about how all the teams that they're playing are like just destroying them, and they've been so used to winning and all this stuff that like all these other teams, their opponents are just really sticking it to them and getting revenge for all the years that they've just put them through tournaments.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question. It's kind of like with the Rams. Whenever you win the championship, there's a larger target on your back for teams that want to beat you. There's a little bit extra gut. Yeah. And I'd like to point out that the Sacramento Kings have the best record in the state of California right now in basketball.
So. No, man, you're Kings, bro.
They're on a roll, man.
Let me tell you. That's impressive. Because I remember back when we both lived in California, it was like that's all you'd talk about NBA, and they were sucked. They were so bad. It wasn't even fun to watch.
They came off of a nationally broadcast game on TNT on Tuesday, obliterating the Nets, 108 to 153 or something like that. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, that's surprising, shocking. Maybe we should bet on them. Anyways, all right. No. Let's talk.
They'll find a way to lose. They'll find a way to shoot themselves in the foot.
Of course. Yeah. It always happens that way. Just like last week with the damn I picked the Cowboys because it's like that's a no-brainer. But we'll get to that later. Week 11 in the NFL, we got our bye week featuring Jacksonville, Miami, Seattle, and Tampa Bay. I think this will be good, obviously, because Brady needs it, and so does Tua. Tua looks fantastic, though. I love that guy. Anyways, biggest upset from Week 10. I'm gonna have to go with Washington beating the unbeatable Eagles. What the hell is this?
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I did have the Vikings beating the Bills as the upset of the week until this game came on Monday night. For some reason, Philly just kind of went away from what was working the whole time, and they let the backup in Heineke win and give Heineke all the credit in the world. Mm-hmm. He took care of business. Outside that controversial late call with roughing the passer, he was just spectacular. And for some reason, the Eagles just got away from their run game entirely. Fortunately for the Eagles, though, a lot of the problems they had in that game are all fixable, and it's nothing like system-wide issue with the way they're playing.
Yeah, well, and there was a lot of turnovers too. I mean, the Eagles had
like I said, it's a bunch of fixable stuff you could just fix in-house and just point out in the meetings and stuff. Yeah.
The
Eagles, I don't know. Divisional game, so you never know how those go, right?
Yeah, and I love the fact that they finally got Terry McLaurin going because I have him on fantasy, and he's like he was great last year. Now he's like hit or miss. It just depends on how well they're throwing the
Well,
ball.
depends on where Carson Wentz is throwing the ball, right?
Yeah, or whoever's throwing him the ball, it don't matter at this point. Like you
You
said,
know, Ron
Heineke,
Rivera,
doesn't
he
matter.
said going into this week, I don't know who they have for this week, but he said that he doesn't know who's going to start because I guess Carson Wentz is back and healthy. But shit, I mean, you got to kind of ride the hot hand, right, with Heineke.
Mm-hmm. Who are they playing? Hold
Who
on.
are they playing? Let's pull that up
Yeah,
real quick.
let's find this real quick. We can do. Where's our research team? Oh,
Where's
we
our
don't have
research
it.
team at? God
Oh,
damn
they're
it.
playing Houston. Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Oh, that's right. They're playing Houston.
blah.
Yeah, they might get a little nice little 2 game win streak here going, you know?
I might have to put that on my parlay now. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep on moving. So yeah, that was definitely the one. I mean, the Vikings beating the Bills also was a big one, but I'm not shocked. I told you, man. The Vikings are the real deal. Kirk Cousins is the man. You
I
seen him
would
with
say
his
I'm a little
chain.
shocked how they came back and won the game with how much they were down and how many tight fourth down plays they had to make on those last couple of
Right.
drives.
And I remember Scott texting us. He's like, "Well, this is it." It was
Yeah,
like
it
17
was
to
fun
10.
while it lasted.
Like, it's yeah, fun while it lasted. And
It
look what
was fun
happened.
while it lasted, man. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
throwing in the towel, man.
So speaking of your so-called, that was our upset, but this is probably the game of the season for you so far up to this point was the
For me,
Vikings and the
this is for
Bills.
everyone. That's what everyone's been talking about.
I mean, it like I said, I kind of expected this, so I'm just, I'm that guy. No.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Kirk Cousins stepping up as that guy, as the GOAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to get too carried away, but he's doing fantastic. And Josh Allen 3 TO in fourth quarter and overtime and drop passes. What are we doing here?
Um, Personally, I think this is an issue that the Bills kind of are facing with Josh Allen, with Brian Dable leaving the organization to go coach the New York Giants. You can see when Brian Dable was there, he was able to coach up Josh Allen and turn him in from the raw talent that would throw interceptions and stuff from Wyoming into the player he was like last year, per se. And I don't know, maybe some of those old habits are starting to come back to haunt him that he allegedly overcame when Brian Dable was there as their quarterbacks coach.
So wait, are you putting a lot of the blame on Josh Allen?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a partial of it. I mean,
Okay.
he threw the game sealing interception. I'm gonna give him a little pass on the that last interception in the end of regulation because he had to get rid of the ball. It was fourth down, trying to make a play in their end zone. But once again, you could credit he threw an interception. Um,
Interesting.
and then for some reason, like how does the center and the quarterback baffle the handoff on the half-yard line? I don't know how
Yeah.
you mess that up. I don't know who that falls on, but I mean, the center is snapping the ball to the quarterback. What 35 to 45
All the
times,
time. Yeah. Yeah. That's
whether it's right under his ass or in a shotgun, right?
right. You had one job. Yeah.
You have one job. Yeah, exactly. Although I do remember when it was a turnover on downs and the Bills were snapping the ball literally at the half-yard mark. I was like, hold on, let's watch this because what happens if the Vikings score a safety or maybe they hand the ball off to the running back and the running back fumbles it, and the Vikings
Yeah.
recover. It got even easier for them. The quarterback fumbled the ball
Yeah. It's right there. It's just a gift.
right there. And then
Uh
obviously the refs missed that drop pass that led to the Bills game tying touchdown. But in the
I
end, the
don't
Vikings were
yeah.
able to sneak out.
I don't ever like to put it on the refs.
No,
It's
but
a
it
lot
was
of
a
pressure,
blatant missed
but
call from the
yeah,
replay judge.
but it definitely does happen. So if you had to pick right now, which quarterback you take in, Josh
Long
Allen
term,
or Kirk Cousins? Yeah,
probably
long
Kirk
term.
Cousins ride the hot hand. The
Really? Okay.
The
I
Bills,
like it.
the Bills are on a 2 game losing streak right now, and they're last in the NFC North, or AFC East. Excuse me.
You're being converted right
They
now. You
are
know
last. I'm just saying,
that?
the red flags are starting to show up. Allen, has the most fourth quarter overtime interceptions or turnovers in general the last 3 games in the NFL.
So I just want to say Minnesota's playing Dallas this weekend and Buffalo's playing Cleveland. So those are both going to be pretty solid games. We can talk more about that in a second.
Both games have
But
their own challenges and their own unique situations.
yeah, exactly. So I still think if I had to pick a quarterback for like my fantasy team, I'm taking Josh Allen over Kirk
Oh,
Cousins because
fantasy wise, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But if I'm taking it long term, like you know what, we might be able to make the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think you're right. Kirk Cousins might be that guy. He might be that
Five
game
chains,
manager. Yeah,
Cousins,
5 change. Yeah, he's so icy, dude. So
Rip
icy.
Cousins.
Remember when Dante Culpepper had his pepper chain? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He's like on the cover like ESPN with it or whatever. Oh man, that
Go
was like
Chains, you know.
revolutionary, bro.
Kirk
He's
Go
pulling in
Chains,
that.
man.
All right. Anyways, so speaking of the NFC North, we got the Bears. Oh man, what are the Bears? So Justin Fields, he's becoming a legitimate quarterback, but he's becoming a legitimate running back as well. I don't want to give him all the credit for being a quarterback because he's like Taysom Hill. Anyways, Bears are you said Bears are 1 to 2 years away from being a legitimate team. Can you back that up for me? Because I'm a little, baffled.
Okay, so I want to clarify when I say legitimate. I mean, they're not basement gutter trash like they've been the last 40 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll have a chance for NFC North contention, definitely wild card possibilities. Finishing 1 to 3 games over 500, and that's what I mean by legitimate. Like they go from basement dwelling to like middle of the pack, maybe upper part of the middle of the pack, and that's what I mean by legitimate.
Okay, all right, that's good clarification.
And that's what so I wanted to clear that up. So the Bears came in with new management and a new head coach this year, and the new management didn't draft Justin Fields, so they had to see what they're working with essentially and figure out, is this the long-term solution at quarterback for us, or do we?
Is he the long-term? What do you think?
I think now with the way they've adjusted the play call from the last maybe month and a quarter, I think he is. I think they finally found an offensive scheme that works for him. And I think right now, like I said, this year was about just reestablishing the culture and identifying if Justin Fields is that guy for the Bears going forward. Next year, they got a shit ton of cap money and a decent amount of draft compensation. And I think next year, if they do it smart, instead of drafting a defensive player in the first round, maybe they draft a wide receiver. They
could build. Yeah, because they only got Mooney right now, right?
He's
the big
Mooney,
guy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe get some skill players, maybe get some offensive linemen.
Also, they have Montgomery, right, as a running back, and he's a good pass catcher out of the backfield. So I don't know.
Kind of middle-aged in terms of a quarterback, He's been there for about 5 years, roughly.
Yeah, and they don't need him to run the ball anyways. Like I said, Justin Fields pretty much does that himself.
RPO option, absolutely.
But yeah, they could utilize him a little bit more, I think. And I don't have him in fantasy, so don't worry. There's not ulterior motives there. I'm just saying he is that guy that could come out of the backfield, catch a ball, and run it down the field 10, 15 yards. That's all you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Montgomery's a solid running back, in my opinion. There's no question.
Yeah.
The Bears just don't utilize him the proper way. Just, they don't have creative offensive guys like Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur. They don't have brilliant offensive-minded, eccentric head coaches or offensive coordinators to like utilize him properly. But then somehow the switch flipped on, about a month ago, and Justin Fields just been exploding and just his stats have been great. He's been scoring touchdowns, both throwing and rushing. The Bears have been in all these games. They're scoring, 23 points, no fucking problem. Man.
Yeah. Well, that's about, 80% of it is a good play call working with your quarterback. Like it's got to be a good relationship. That's the only way you're going to get things done.
You remember in the beginning of the season when the Bears looked like trash and Justin Fields just looks like it wasn't going to cut?
Yeah. Yeah. And then they adapted, they changed, and look at them now.
That's what I'm saying. I think they figured
they're still not winning games, but they're
not. But they've had very close games, and they're very competitive, and they're in those games. And, to the Bears, I talked to some Bears fans, and they see
why did you put a mask on to protect yourself from all those germs and cooties? I
talked to some Bear fans, and you're like, it's just been nothing but misery for years and years and years. It's like now with Justin Fields, it looks like we might have something going here. So they're,
I hope it looks that way, and then next year it just falls apart, and they just get crushed and just
it is the NFL.
Jay Cutler all over again.
But their long-term plan right now, I think next year is when they start picking up some legitimate pieces and tools to help Fields out for sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go. You mentioned LaFleur though, and the play calling. It's kind of hops right into our next topic. First of all, LaFleur wasn't so much experimenting with the play calling this time. He actually did what he was supposed to do with Rodgers and put him under center.
Oh, okay? This game? Yeah.
And then they ran the ball, like I've been saying since the beginning of this last year. Run the ball.
But even more so this year with Devontae Adams not being there anymore.
Yeah, it's the obvious choice to do, and then they still don't do it. And then when they do it, it works. And then they watch. I guarantee you, this weekend they're gonna just go to all passing. It's gonna go right out of the shotgun.
How many passes did Rodgers throw? I think it was only like 12 or 15 passes.
Yeah, it wasn't much. But I mean, every one that he threw was open to Watson because they've been running the ball. So like all these play actions that they're doing is like confusing.
I don't know why the Cowboys couldn't stop the run game. I mean, their defense has been solid all year long, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden they just forget how to stop the run. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what the hell happened.
I mean, it was all the pressure, and they wanted to impress McCarthy and like make him finally get a win. Wait, what'd you tell me? Finally get a win at Lambeau or something.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
we saw that win.
yeah, the Cowboys game is a lot of fun. The biggest question everyone has is that last drive and sequence for the Cowboys where they go for it on 4th and 4, which was basically
Yeah.
it was basically a 4th and 3. But Mike McCarthy said that on first down, he knew that they were going to go for fourth down and it was 4 down territory. So it's like, why wouldn't you be running the ball on 3rd and 4 if you know you can get at least 2 to 3 yards, especially with what's his name in the
Pollard.
backfield? Yeah, Pollard in the backfield.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, that was the big question that everyone's been asking all week is like, if you knew it was 4 down territory, why didn't you run it more?
The other thing I don't understand either with them. See, they're kind of in the same boat as the Packers. Is like, why aren't you running it more? Why aren't you running it more? With Zeke out, Pollard still doesn't. He barely runs. I mean, it's really weird.
Pollard was running all over the place on Sunday too.
I mean, he can run, but I'm saying they don't run him enough.
Yeah.
Like,
they want to use
endurance isn't
Elliott
there
as the workhorse that get in those 1st and 2nd down situations and maybe 4th down, and they want Pollard to be the explosive run guy,
right? The blast bag guy,
explosive plays, yeah.
I don't know though. I don't get it because he runs really well regardless.
I don't think they want to turn him into damaged goods the way Ezekiel Elliott is right now. I think they want to keep him going as long as possible.
But maybe they should split those up a little bit better, and then Zeke wouldn't be so damaged.
Problem is we're using reason and logic. I understand.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. So we know how that went. It screwed my parlay. That's okay, I guess. The Packers won. Yay.
You were pissed Monday.
I was. It's ridiculous,
damn Packers
man.
fuck over my parlay.
This is like, it's almost as bad as baseball. Like, just flip a coin. Who's gonna win? No, they're gonna win today. It's gotten to that point now. It's insane. But I want to talk one more thing about the NFC North, and that's the Lions fucking headhunting the NFC North, dude. They've only won 3 games, okay, and those two of those games were against the Packers. And
2 of those games have come in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the Bears, exactly. So I'm just saying, be on the lookout if you're in the NFC North because they play all 3 teams. Obviously, again, they got next up is Minnesota, right? So Minnesota on the 25th. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Minnesota on the 11th. Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah. December 11th. Anyways, if they somehow magically beat the Vikings, dude, oh my God. Could you imagine how crazy the Lions fans are going to be? That's the only thing they can celebrate.
I'm not expecting it, but
I know, but I wasn't expecting them to beat the Bears or the Packers, and they did. Okay.
I mean, I think the Bears was a toss-up for sure. The Packers definitely was a complete shocker.
A surprise. Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is
Lions are building for next year, man. They're retooling for next year.
Lions and Tigers that go hunt and put heads on my fireplace. Oh my. All right. All right. Anyway. All right. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulties. Our intern over there is messing with the Wi-Fi, just unplugging things. Anyways, let's pick up where we left off there. Sorry. Jeff Saturday's first win against the Raiders, right? No coaching experience. This guy's except for high school, but we don't count that. The Raiders are in shambles. Derek Carr is crying like a baby. Well, he's not, but he's trying not to. And Devontae saying Sunday's the least fun day of the week. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Sorry, Aaron. No.
What you got, Joe? Come on, talk about it. Lay it on us.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with the Raiders. Obviously, when you get a new coach like Jeff Saturday, and with the high energy and high motor he has, I think he could definitely inspire not only his coaching staff but his players to go out and give maximum effort and try to win the ball game. Matt Ryan running for 40 yards doesn't hurt either, on the scramble.
Right.
Matty Ice is rolling out like that.
What a shocker.
Well, I think the bigger shocker is Mark Davis coming out saying that Josh McDaniels done a fine job thus far. But I think the reality situation is the rumors are that the Raiders just don't have enough money to fire him, pay on his contract, and then go get a new coach.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I don't know what I mean. There needs to be a realignment of expectations, I think, in Vegas with the Raiders. I think maybe they'll spend this offseason figuring it out, but
I mean, we could go to a Raiders game. I think tickets like $12 or
I
something.
know, yeah. It's just they got the Broncos this Sunday night. Two teams are just doesn't know what the
Yeah,
hell's going on.
that'll be a real fun game to watch.
That's why I got the Mile High in the background here, baby.
Yeah, I don't see Jeff Saturday's win streak going on here though. I
No, they
mean,
got the Ravens this week.
no, they got the Eagles this week.
Oh, that's right. They got the Eagles. Yeah.
But
You never know, but
beginner's luck. I mean, if he does, if we
it
can
also
see
helps
something
it also
changing,
helps when Jonathan Taylor comes back too.
yeah,
He's back for the Raiders last week.
we'll see what happens. I just want to do one thing real quick to add on this Raiders thing is there's a new cologne coming out that Derek Carr released, and it's Derek Carr cologne is what it's called, but it's for those nights when you just don't want to score. Got him. No.
Got
All
him.
right. We got to keep moving here because we're running out of time. This has been a longer podcast. Let's do Thursday night, which is tonight. Tennessee at Green Bay. This is a huge game for both of our teams, for both teams. Who you got, Joe?
Packers are the favorite by 3.5, so Vegas is calling this a toss-up. I can see Green Bay coming up and winning this game, but don't be surprised if Mike Vrabel comes in and sneaks one out. Maybe their defense lives up to the game, lives up to what they are needed, and maybe Derrick Henry just runs all over the Packers defense.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm take Green Bay in this one.
I see. This is messed up. I want to take Green Bay, but every time I do, they let me down. Every time I don't, they win. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Whoever wins. You know what I'm saying? I did bet on this game. We'll talk about it here in just a second. Let's move on to Dallas and Minnesota. Another big game. So the Cowboys going to bounce back, and then the Vikings going to keep rolling. Where are we going?
I think I'm going to take Minnesota with the upset here. I
mean, is it really an upset? It's not an upset. Dallas would be the upset, I think.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think Minnesota at home. Dallas second road game in a row. North of Texas. I think Minnesota just put together a full game last week, and they know that they have to build on it and keep the consistency going. There's a lot of people that are like, "Oh yeah, Dallas will win because they need the rebound game," and Minnesota is coming off this high emotional game. They're just not going to be able to prepare. I'm going to take Minnesota on this one. I think Minnesota.
Yeah,
I'll give the benefit of the doubt to Minnesota because they've been proving it throughout the entire season that they're a very consistent team. Especially on this, we're going on a 7-game win streak they're on right now.
Yeah, something crazy. Never thought I'd see it.
You never.
Zeke I heard he might be a limited snap count, but I doubt that'll even happen. They'll just keep him out. There's no point. Plus, it's going to be freezing cold for him, and you don't want him to get hurt.
They're playing indoors.
Yeah, I know, but it's still going to be cold. I mean, don't they keep that thing 40 degrees for visiting teams? Oh wait, no, that's right, because they're in a dome. A bunch of
keep the windows open on their sideline.
They should. I mean, that's how football should be played, and especially when you have that advantage, which is why another reason why I don't like the Vikings. Anyways, keep rolling. Jets and Patriots. You said, can the Jets steal this one from their own division rival? I don't think it's so much stealing because once again, the Jets are the top dog right now.
Yeah, but they lost to the Patriots at home a couple of weeks back. Remember that?
Oh, so what?
Remember we were giving all that credit to Zach Wilson and the Jets as an organization, and Zach Wilson just come out and fumbled the ball and just wasn't know what the hell he was doing.
And you think they're going to let it happen again, though?
Well, they're coming off a bye. So I think it's possible that they can come in and win this game like 16-10 or something.
Yeah, something low. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm definitely taking the Jets. I don't believe in the Patriots. Mr. Bill.
Mac Jones is out of sync with his receivers too.
Yeah, and Bill's not doing anything about it. It's like he doesn't care. It seems like he's like,
he's for Josh McDaniels to get fired so he can reclaim him as his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, there you go. I hate to touch on this one because we really did, but Raiders or Broncos. Another coin toss up. I guess I'm going to take the Broncos because the Raiders are garbage and the Broncos are home.
You have to, right? Yeah, you have to. Divisional game at home, Sunday Night Football. The lights might be too bright for Vegas,
Yeah, the spread's 2.5 points.
Yeah, 2.5 right now. And
there was another meme bring up about Vegas, and it was the only house to lose, and it was the
Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah, the only house in Vegas to lose. Yeah, that's what it was. All right. So we got a little facts mostly. Facts. It's not facts mostly, Joe. Damn, you're terrible at this. You're writing the wrong things, brother. It's facts entirely. I'm just gonna stop reading your notes. Joe, what is our facts entirely for this week, week 11?
Well, we all know we got that Buffalo Bills game coming up here against the Browns in Buffalo, and allegedly up to 6 inches of snow with 25-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh yeah,
into the stadium. So obviously, I'm sure we're all old enough to remember the last Snow Bowl we had, December 10th, 2017. Colts at the Bills, same exact thing. 8 to 9 inches of snow fell in that game, and they came in playing with 4 inches of snow on the ground. And I think we all remember it was that walk-off by good old-fashioned kicker for the Colts. I already forgot his name.
I always want to say Rodrigo, but it's not Rodrigo.
No, it was.
Hold on, real quick. You said Indianapolis at the Bills, and you said same exact thing. It's actually you're right, but the Browns at the Bills.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Browns are playing the Bills this Sunday, but the last Snow Bowl was December 10th, 2017, when the Colts came to town and played the Bills in 4 inches.
And you're talking about Adam Vinatieri.
Vinatieri, thank you. It was a walk.
The one and only. So how do you think that's going to affect the game this weekend?
Well, allegedly they're talking about 45 inches of snow are going to pound between today on Thursday through Saturday, and then they're going to only have 1 inch of snow falling on Sunday.
Yeah.
And allegedly, it's going to be enough time for the ground crews to clear the field and get it in a good, proper condition to play. We're not going to know until Friday if that's going to happen, or they might move to Ford Field. But I think depending on where they play, that betting line is going to be very risky. You ought to put a bet on that game until Sunday morning when we know definitively where they're playing and what. That line is going to change at least 4 to 5 times the next couple of days.
Yeah, I have that bet in there as an asterisk. That one, if it's played out there and it is all nasty, I mean, take the under, obviously, right?
You have
who's going to show up?
You're going to be running the ball the whole time, and the Browns are at least 6th in the league in total rushing yards per game. And Nick Chubb, he's going to pound that ball for sure.
Chubby.
All right, looks like next we got Nick's parlays here. The Shark Chomp bet of the week.
No, Chomp. No.
How many games parlay? 3 still?
Well, I did 3 for one of them, and then I did 4 same game parlay for tonight for the Packers. Titans Packers. We're gonna go with the Titans Packers. I got the under 41.5. I think both teams are they're like 30 and 32nd in the NFL in terms of pace. So they got a lot of time of possession.
Not only
really
that,
slow.
It's a Thursday night game, short week.
Yeah, and Amazon Prime. Every team's been on Amazon Prime, but they're just in the worst games anyways. So let's keep going, Amazon.
For sure.
Yeah, so the under is 41.5. I'm taking that. I got the Tennessee Titans plus 3.5. I think I'll go through one more. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown score. I think Derrick Henry, if anything, will score at least a touchdown, and that'll probably be it for the whole game. I mean, I don't see much going on, like I said. Yeah. He'll be the workhorse, though, for sure. And it could be dangerous if he does get going. And I could see him getting 125 yards easily. The thing is, the Titans' defense has also been strong and sturdy and super aggressive with sacks coming to the quarterback, the blitzes and all this stuff. So if our offensive line doesn't hold together, which they're all hurt anyways, and we don't run the ball efficiently, we're kind of.
We got Bakhtiari still out there.
Yeah, and he's still hurt though. I mean, everyone's still injured. They're not 100%. So I got that, and then Aaron Jones getting 25 plus rushing yards. That's an alt rushing yard, thanks to FanDuel. Make sure you guys peek the link. No. So I got that's my 14 parlay, putting $10 on it. Pays out $63.68. That's $6,000. I'm just kidding. $63.68. Let's go over that again. It's the under 41.5. Tennessee Titans plus 3.5. Derrick Henry score a touchdown, and Aaron Jones 25 plus.
What about the Sunday parlay?
My Sunday parlay is even better. This is the one with the asterisk, so it would be a 4-leg if we can take the under, depending on the weather. I want to throw that out there first. But the current 3-leg parlay as it stands is going to be Philadelphia Eagles taking the money line, a straight bet on them beating the Colts.
Yep.
New York Giants money line, straight bet on them beating the Lions. I only did straight bet and not took the points because the Lions do score a lot of points, and as we see, the Lions are one for upsets. And then I'm going to take the over 40.5 points in Cincinnati-Pittsburgh Steelers game. I'm taking the over in that, yeah, because I think, Joe Mixon just a couple like
he's going to run 4 more touchdowns that week.
He had 5 touchdowns. So, right there, he's already at it. That's all I really need. And I'm sure, Pittsburgh Steelers will both get a touchdown or 2. That right there, I put $15 on to pay me $62.12. Like I said, keep that in mind with the snow bowl game we got going on. If it is crappy weather, I think the over-under is 42.5, which I'm taking the under.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I'd probably say 38.
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? Although, Stephon Diggs did play for the Vikings, and the Vikings I think the year that he left, they had the dome, right?
Yeah. I think so. No, Diggs played inside U.S. Bank Stadium.
He did. Once again, they're just ruining the future.
The Indianapolis Miracle happened in U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh, God, never mind. Okay. I retract my statement.
So Josh Allen's played some cold weather numerous times, both in Wyoming and in Buffalo. So
I mean, yeah, Buffalo is cold as hell. So What'd you say the high was, or the low was? The low was 8 today or something? 8 degrees? Was that what it was?
It was like 13. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It's freaking cold.
It's freaking cold. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for sticking around. We did it on a Thursday. It wasn't my favorite day to do it. I wasn't in the zone. I'm just, I can't drink because I have to go to work. So there's that. But we appreciate you guys watching this far. Thank you for keeping up, subscribing, liking, commenting. We appreciate it. We always try to respond to the comments, so feel free to ask some questions in there. We're on YouTube at Opinions Mostly Podcast, and you can email us at opinionsmostlypodcast@gmail.com with all your pressing questions. I'll throw up the FanDuel link to sign up. If you guys sign up, I get $50 and you get $50. And the next bet will be a $50 bet, and we will cash in on that. Anyways, thanks again for watching. Joe, been fantastic as always. I'll see you on the flip side. Flippity flip.
See you next week on Opinions Mostly.